Hello, my dear students. This is your host, Dr. Syed from Department of Studies in Microbiology. In this session, let us see how to structure or how to write your thesis after completion of your project or your internship. The component of the thesis are as follows: initial pages, which will be common for everybody; abstract, what you have done, you need to compile it into a shorter form so that it can be readable, which gives an overview of what your thesis actually all about. Followed by the introduction. The introduction contains the information of what topic you are working on, what kind of subject you have chosen for your project or internship. Next comes a review of literature, wherein you will be studying 20 to 25 different literatures pertaining to your particular topic. You will download these articles and you will start writing your review of literature. This followed by the objectives. The objectives should be more than 3, or the optimal, or usually we take 4 objectives. Objective number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then comes your materials and method in your thesis, followed by results. The results, you need to give what you have got while you are doing your internship or project. The materials and methods, you will be following certain protocols, you will be following certain methodology, which is from different reported articles you will be referring. So those methods you need to mention here along with the references. Then results. Then comes a discussion part. Here the discussion part is completely different from the other components of your thesis. It is different from the introduction or your results. Here you will be discussing about the results what you have got and the results which have been published already by some other research group. We will be discussing everything with the live demonstration of previously published thesis. Then comes the conclusion. You will provide a conclusion of your thesis or of your project. What is your ultimate conclusion? What you are planning to say? What is the ultimate outcome of your project? Then comes the references, which is also very important to evaluate your thesis. So let's jump on to the live demonstration of previously submitted thesis. Overall, your thesis should be of more than 20 to 25 pages. Minimum it should be not less than 20 pages. The title page, here you can see in this thesis it was submitted previous year by one of the student, Shreya Rose Alex, and here she has written the title. The title should be free from any abbreviations. It should be clear, followed by the symbol of KSOU, then by the author who is submitting this, the register number, dissertation submitted to Karnataka State Open University for the partial fulfillment of the requirement for the degree of Master of Science in Microbiology under the guidance of, she was working under me, so she has written my name. You can write the name of the guide under whom you are working and the department of the guide, followed by month and year. So this starts your initial pages. The first come title page and the author's information, affiliation, etc., followed by dedication, like what this thesis will be dedicated to. You can dedicate to your family members, you can dedicate to your friends, etc. and then followed by the statement of author. Here you need to give the statement or give a declaration that thesis what you are submitting here is not copied from anywhere else. It is your own work you have done for the fulfillment of the degree, and this thesis is not a part of any other thesis or copied from any previously submitted data. So you will give the statement, you will sign. Along with your signature, you need to have the signature of the guide, date and place, followed by certificate from the guide. The research guide under whom you are working, he or she should certify that your work is in whole and soul work carried out by the candidate, where it was carried out. Then comes the acknowledgement. Here you can give the acknowledgement to your institute where you are working, to the guide with whom you are working, or to the your research colleagues or in the department who is supporting you, etc. Then comes the content page. In this content page, you will be mentioning the table of content which contains abstract, introduction, objective, review of literature, methodology, results, discussion, references. So, as mentioned above, the first content or the component of your thesis abstract. Here, this student has given a brief outline of what she did, how she did, what was the result, and the conclusion. So keep this in mind: what she did, how she did, what methodology she followed, what she got, and what is the conclusion. This is all you need to mention in the abstract. Followed by the introduction. The introduction, here you will be collecting research articles from different sources and you will come up with your own introduction. This candidate has written the introduction of nanotechnology. What is nanotechnology? She has provided the references. Here you can see. If it is more than two authors, then you can use and. If it is more than two authors, then you need to use et al. I will be discussing that when we come to the references part. So she has started with the introduction of nanotechnology, then nanomaterials. What are the types of nanomaterials? History and development of nanotechnology, nanotechnology worldwide, applications of nanotechnology. She has listed down. Then she starts connecting to her current topic. Here she has mentioned that the synthesis can be carried out by various methods, out of which biological synthesis is one of the interesting eco-friendly methods. So there is a great demand for biological synthesis. So from here, at the end, she is connecting. The author is connecting her topic in the introduction itself. Then the candidate moves on to the several types of mushroom which are already used in the synthesis and what is the advantage. Then followed by objectives. So your abstract is done, introduction is done, then followed by the objectives. Here the candidate is providing 4 objectives: evaluation of oyster mushroom for extraction process, synthesis of silver nanoparticles from the extract, characterization of silver nanoparticles, antibacterial activity of silver nanoparticles. Then comes a review of literature. In this review of literature, here you need to write the current research article or the previously reported research article which is purely pertaining to your topic. Here no need of adding any introduction. You need to have at least minimum of 10 articles in the review of literature, where here you can see The candidate has referred some of the articles and she has mentioned like what they have done. It is like writing their abstract. So even in this case, you need to refer the article and then write it by your own. I will show you how to write a review of literature with live example at the end of this video. Then after the review of literature, we will jump on to the materials and method. This materials and methods are subdivided based on the criteria and the type of study what you are doing. For example, she has subdivided materials and methods into different groups, where the first category here she has done sample preparation. She has mentioned how the sample was prepared, then synthesis of silver nanoparticles, how she has done, and UV visible spectroscopy of nanoparticles, like how she measured, antibacterial activity of silver nanoparticles, how she has carried out. Here she has carried out well diffusion assay, broad dilution assay, and this was carried out based on the protocol described by Baker et al. 2015. So in the methodological part, every paragraph you need to provide the references. Then here in antibacterial activity, well diffusion, broad dilution she has followed. So what is the protocol? She has already mentioned here. The protocol for well diffusion assay, the protocol for broad dilution assay, and the list of pathogens what she has used for her study. Then starts with your result part. So in this she has mentioned that the synthesis of silver nanoparticles was well achieved with mushroom extract in the present study. The sonication and boiling process resulted in uniform distribution of secondary metabolites present in the extraction. The synthesis was excellent under the optimized parameters such as higher temperature and alkaline pH. So this is a brief intro of your result. Here you should not write the introduction of nanotechnology nor the introduction of nanoparticles, nothing, but you need to give an overview of like how your result should start. So she has written 4 lines. Based on your topic, you need to write at least 2 lines like what you are going to present in the result section. Biosynthesis of silver nanoparticles, she has synthesized, like she has reported like within how many time duration the nanoparticles were synthesized. She has given a pictorial reference for her for the justification. So this is the nanoparticles what the candidate has synthesized, and the candidate has carried out a UV visible spectroscopy in order to confirm the presence of nanoparticles. So this is what the candidate has got, and every figures what you provide you need to give a legend for this. So figure 1, what it represents, synthesis of silver nanoparticles from mushroom extract. Figure 2, UV visible spectrum of silver nanoparticles. The same way, antibacterial activity of silver nanoparticles. Here she has mentioned the activity obtained against the test pathogens. She has tabulated and also provided a figure. Here in the tabulation, you can see these many bacteria were tested, and out of which E. coli, Bacillus epidermis, Pseudomonas, Bacillus cereus showed like a nanoparticle showed activity against these bacteria, and no activity was observed against Listeria monocytogenes and Salmonella typhi. Whereas the antibiotic she has used as a reference, the nanoparticle showed activity but less than antibiotic. She has compared her result with the standard antibiotics. Here you can see the zone of inhibitions which she has measured. Here also figure 3 what it represents. Table 2, optical density at 600 nanometer, which is of broad dilution. This is the control without addition of nanoparticles. This after the addition of nanoparticles. She has compared. Obviously, the control will be having more optical density in comparison with the treatment of silver nanoparticles, which the candidate has tabulated. Next comes the discussion part. Here in discussion, I told you already in the beginning, based on your results, you need to compare with the previously reported data. You should not write or elaborate any type of introduction part. So followed by references. So this concludes the session, and if you are new to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button and share among your friends. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos on how to write the introduction, how to write a review of literature, how to write the methodology or materials and method, how to write the discussion, how to align the references, etc. Thanks for watching. Have a nice life ahead.